In the heart of the 19th century, a man emerged who embodied extraordinary courage, military discipline, and unwavering faith. A man undeterred by battles, unswayed by worldly fame, and unmoved by wealth and gifts. A man later known as Gordon of Khartoum. From the streets of London to the bloody battlefields of China, from the banks of the Nile to the heart of turbulent Sudan, he walked where danger threatened, carrying a message of courage, justice, and loyalty. Every step he took was a test of the human spirit, and every decision he made could alter the fate of thousands. In this video, we delve into the story of a man who blended military heroism with humanitarian devotion, a man who defied revolutions, wars, and politics to leave an indelible mark on the history of China, Africa, and the British Empire. Discover with me the story of Charles George Gordon, the man who became a legend before he became a martyr. Welcome to this new video in our series on military leaders. Charles George Gordon, better known as Gordon of Khartoum, was born on January 28, 1833 in Woolwich, southeast London, near the Royal Military Academy for the training of Royal Artillery officers and Royal Engineers. He grew up in a military environment steeped in discipline and a strong sense of service. Gordon came from a military family spanning 4 generations. His father, a former brigadier general, had served in the Napoleonic Wars, bringing with him memories of battles and victories that profoundly influenced his son's upbringing. His mother, Elizabeth Enderby, came from a prominent merchant family that had settled in New England, Australia and New Zealand after the American Revolutionary War, giving Gordon a unique blend of military, commercial and social values. Charles was the 9th of 11 children and grew up during the expansion of the British Empire following the Battle of Waterloo, when Britain dominated international trade and became the world's leading naval power. He accompanied his father on his military postings to cities such as Dublin, Edinburgh and the Mediterranean island of Corfu, where he explored the island and learned about its ancient history and rich culture, broadening his imagination and deepening his understanding of the world. He received a strict religious education from his mother, who instilled in him moral values, Christian faith, and a love of service to others, alongside academic instruction in reading, writing, and mathematics. He was then sent to Fowles House School in Somerset, where he displayed a remarkable talent for drawing and cartography, although his overall academic performance was average. During his childhood, he suffered the loss of his beloved sister Emily, which left a deep emotional scar and made him more withdrawn and introspective. On July 8, 1847, he entered the Royal Military Academy, where he studied mathematics, fortifications, history, geography, and languages. He quickly distinguished himself in military matters, but he was also known for challenging authority, which made him an independent thinker, unafraid to express his opinions. After graduating, he joined the Royal Engineers and served in several posts in Britain before being sent to the Crimean War. There he mapped Russian fortifications and participated in the siege of Sevastopol, gaining extensive field experience and advanced tactical skills. He was awarded the French Legion of Honor for his bravery. Later, he became an advisor in Romania and participated in the demarcation of the border between Russia and the Ottoman Empire, acquiring significant diplomatic experience. However, his greatest glory came in China, where he fought in the Second Opium War and the Taiping War. During these campaigns, he commanded what became known as the Always Victorious Army, liberating key cities such as Suzhou and Nanjing. He exemplified integrity and courage on the battlefield, refusing gifts and money and remaining steadfast in his Christian principles, earning him the nickname Chinese Gordon. Upon his return to England, he was greeted with fame and respect, but he preferred charitable work, establishing schools for the poor and educating hundreds of children, spending most of his salary on their aid. He maintained his celibacy for religious reasons, setting a living example of dedication and moral integrity. In the 1870s, he became governor of Equatoria and then Sudan, where he led campaigns to abolish the slave trade and improve infrastructure. He implemented sweeping reforms despite resistance from local officials, laying the foundations for independent governance and effective administration, and upholding human dignity while maintaining a balance between law and mercy. Gordon observed that the Mahdi's popularity in Sudan was not solely a result of religion, but also a reflection of Egyptian mismanagement and the authorities' failure to contain internal unrest. He was not convinced that the majority of the Mahdi's followers were motivated only by religion, but also by anger at injustice and corruption. He criticized the Egyptian government for announcing the evacuation of residents, asserting that this would demoralize pro-Egyptian cities and warning that any failure to confront the Mahdi could lead to the spread of the rebellion into Egyptian territory. He also proposed the dismissal of Sir Samuel Baker and his brother, believing their leadership was partly responsible for the collapse of Egyptian rule in Sudan. In January 1884, Gordon was sent to Egypt to salvage the situation amidst growing British public interest in the Sudan issue. After a meeting with General Wolseley, and with the approval of Sir Evelyn Baring, he was tasked with leading the evacuation from Khartoum, despite objections from some ministers. He arrived in Port Said on January 24th and visited Cairo before proceeding to Khartoum, where he was reappointed Governor-General of Sudan. He attempted to collaborate with Zubair Rahma, a former slave trader, to reorganize the tribes and confront the Mahdi, but failed. Gordon arrived in Khartoum in mid-January, declaring Sudan's independence and the evacuation of the Egyptian army, but found the population had turned to the Mahdi, just as he had anticipated. He tried to negotiate with the Mahdi, offering him the governorship of Kordofan, but the Mahdi refused, demanding Gordon's conversion to Islam. This confirmed that the rebellion had become a growing Islamic jihad. In Khartoum, he burned the debt records and freed the prisoners, and began evacuating women and children across the Nile, relying on local Sudanese forces to defend the city. With the fall of Berber and the telegraph lines cut, Gordon was isolated in Khartoum. He tried to raise the morale of his troops by organizing them into military units, but he realized that the Mahdi was closing in and that escape routes were blocked. Despite the arrival of British relief forces, Gordon refused to surrender. On January 26th, the Mahdi launched his final assault on Khartoum, and the city fell quickly. 10,000 civilians and soldiers were killed, and Gordon was martyred on the steps of the governor's palace. His head was displayed to the Mahdi, while his body was thrown into a well. After his death, the British press accused Prime Minister Gladstone of being responsible, and Gordon was hailed as a Christian martyr and a symbol of sacrifice and faith. His military skills, achievements in China and Africa, and unwavering Christian faith left an enduring legacy in British history, particularly in combating the slave trade in Sudan and establishing order in troubled regions. His name became synonymous with Egypt and Sudan, and his martyrdom in Khartoum cemented his status as a lasting symbol of courage, dedication, and principled stance. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.